It's Money Monday. Today I'd like to talk to you about a few ways that you can save some money while keeping your house just the way you sort of like it. Alright, so you've decided you want to save some money on, let's say, electricity. Electricity is one of the big things which will deplete your wallet without you even noticing it. One of the things that you can do, and you've probably heard a lot about this, but I tried it for a month, and it did reduce my electric bills, and that was unplugging appliances that I was not using. So things like TVs that I didn't actually have on, or chargers, that sort of thing. When I unplugged them, I found that I actually ended up saving $5 that month in electricity. That's a lot of money, but I will admit I have a lot of electrical appliances in my house, so there was a lot of unplugging. Now, one of the things that I did to make my life a little bit easier is I did go to power strips. In the power strips, I could just unplug one power strip, which would then unplug a lot of things. Now, that being said, I'm not telling you to do things like unplug clocks, or unplug your cable box, or unplug things which you need to actually have plugged in. No, that's sort of silly. What I am telling you is that you can unplug things like televisions that you're not using, and then plug them back in when you are using them. Chargers are a big one, and I think they call it phantom power. The phantom power is actually running even though the appliance or whatever device is not on. Now, there are some things you can't unplug. Your washer and dryer probably can't unplug them too easy. Oven can unplug that very easily. But other things you can unplug. And those are the things that I would suggest that you unplug. Now, a lot of times they tell you to switch over to the CFIs or the fluorescent light bulbs. Now, I've gone to mainly LED light bulbs, and I have seen a difference in my electric bill since I do that, and which is a good thing because, as you can tell doing these videos, I use a lot of light. It might not look like it here, but right now there's something like 6 different lights on me just so that you can see what it looks like. Now, without these lights, it is pretty dark, even though your naked eye can pick up the light. So I do use a lot of light, so I do try to get to light bulbs. The LEDs give me a lot of flexibility. In fact, there are light bulbs right there in the lamp, which I use to help change things out. Now, I do also use color change lights because, well, I'm sort of lazy and I don't want to actually have to climb up and change the light bulbs, and I can change the color of the lights, and that's really cool, but we'll talk about that sometime later. Other things that you can do. When you're not home, do you need to keep your house at 75 degrees? No. If you're not home, turn down the temperature. The one thing which is nice about this is you're not heating an empty house. Now, don't be ridiculous. Now, if you're going to be gone for 8 hours, say you're at work, and you turn down your house to 55, do you know how much electricity it's going to take to get the house back up to a comfortable temperature? Quite a bit. So don't go ridiculous. Just drop it down. Let's say you drop it down 5 degrees. 5 degrees from what you'd normally be there. It'd be cool if you dropped it down more than that, but I am trying to get this so that it is painless. If you are lucky, like I am, I have a programmable thermostat that I can tell to drop it down when I'm gone, and mine's programmed so that it'll kick back up just slightly before I come home, so that way my house is nice and warm when I come home. Now, I also sleep with a lower temperature to help keep the house cool because I like sleeping in a cool house. It's just me. So that way it's programmed to do that. This works for the winter. In the summertime, I just kill the air conditioning when I'm not there, and then when I come back home, it kicks back in. See, these are pretty simple things. The light bulbs, like I said, the LEDs are expensive. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to be one of those people who say, well, they're not that expensive. No, they are. But if you gradually change over to them, you will see a difference. Make sure that your insulation is up to par. Make sure that your windows are actually closed. I did that one day as I was sitting there by the window, and I was feeling sort of draft going, wow, these windows are horrible. And I was actually finding out that the window wasn't all the way shut. Now, at my windows, I have thick curtains, so that way when it gets really, really cold, I can close the curtains and keep nice and warm. But I also use daylight. Here's a crazy thing, and I didn't know this was an issue until recently. There are people who never ever open their curtains. Uh, that has to be expensive because then you have to have your lights on all the time. I use daylight when I can use daylight, and then only turn my lights on when I absolutely have to. These are simple, simple steps for you to save a little bit of money, and it will add up in the long run. It's something to try. I'm CM Coleman, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please click like. Also, you can favorite and share it on social media. Don't forget to check out my other channels, CM Coleman Home, CM Coleman Daily, and CM Coleman Games. Once again, I'm CM Coleman, and make yourself at home.